Hello, my name is William Frey. I go by Will. I'm an organization development consultant for the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And significantly, I also teach mindfulness-based stress reduction through the UNC School of Medicine. My definition is mindfulness is non-judgmental, compassionate, intentional awareness of what is. So that's what's going on inside of me, like my thoughts and my emotions, and what's going on outside, such as what the other person is saying, what the other person might be doing. Mindfulness can be very, very helpful in our dialogues and our conversations, in times when we might feel there might be a conflict in our conversations. So with bringing mindfulness to our dialogues, we can actually start with pausing so that the reactive mind doesn't hijack the conversation. So imagine that my colleague is rolling her eyes. Now, do I react to that, or do I kind of keep the conversation on track? So what I like to do is to pause, to just acknowledge what's going on inside of me and what I'm noticing going on inside of her or outside of her. And then I can relax because I recognize that I've got some tension built up around my wanting to react to whatever she's doing or saying. So I can pause and I can relax. And as I relax, that changes my feeling about what I have to say, and it also changes how I might be perceived by her. And then once I pause and relax, then I can pay more attention to opening up to the conversation, to feeling more about what I really want to say, and listening more deeply to what she might have to say so that I can better understand her. Now, listening for understanding doesn't mean that I agree with her. It just simply means that I'm wanting to understand where she's coming from so that we can have more of a dialogue rather than just two people having monologues. So the ways that people can practice mindfulness in the workplace starts with that pausing. So we take just a moment. The pause can be long or short. If it's very long, it might be noticeable to people. So what we tend to do is to tell people to just notice whatever they need in that moment. It might be just a moment, a very brief second, or it might be something a little bit longer as they kind of take a nice deep breath and slowly exhale. And the other person can see that you're really thinking deeply about what's going on. Also think about what you're already doing in the course of your day. So are you walking to and from meetings or walking to and from classes? That moment of walking is something you can pay attention to because you're doing that in the present moment. And in that present moment, you can bring your attention to just what you're feeling in the body, maybe what your thoughts are, maybe what your mood is or your emotional state, so that now you're grounded in the present moment. So we have to remember that we don't have choice in the future because it's not here yet. We don't have choice in the past because the past is already gone, it's already done. The place where we do have a choice about how we respond to others and how we're thinking about how we're coming across is in the present moment. So paying full attention to us walking to and from a meeting allows us to become fully grounded and fully at choice. Projects are things that we do. We tend to think of them as tasks, task-oriented, process-oriented, which is true, that's what they are. But they also involve people. So how we're going to treat people, how we're going to behave ourselves around those people means that we have to be at choice. So I have to start paying attention to not only the process, not only the goals of what we're trying to achieve, but how are we achieving that? What is our relationship in this? How am I treating other people? Am I listening really well? Am I explaining myself more clearly? Am I taking the time to slow down, think about what we need in the moment, and then articulate what my thoughts are, and perhaps find out what's going on for the other person so that I can really address what they need to be addressed. So one of the things I like about mindfulness in the workplace is that as employees, we're frequently very, very busy. We have a lot to do. There's a lot of details to take care of. There's the big picture we're working toward. There are the tasks that we have to do. There's the people we have to work with. And all of that might bring with it some anxiety. Mindfulness says, let's take care of ourselves. At the very least, let's take a breath. Just taking a nice deep breath and slowly exhaling allows us to calm the body down so that then the mind can start to calm down as well. We may not get to that place of perfect peace, but we can think more clearly when our minds and our bodies are a little bit calmer. So I imagine that most conversations are not going to be ideal. So the reality is that sometimes our conversations aren't going exactly the way we wish they would go, or with the way that we would expect that they should go. So with mindfulness, we're dealing with what is, not what should be necessarily. So I want to acknowledge that that person must be feeling something, they must be thinking something, and I just don't understand what it is. We're perhaps on different pages, so we need to get on the same page. And that's where I can go back to pausing for a second, so I'm not reacting, and I'm going to be more choiceful and exercise the freedom of choice in terms of how I'm going to respond to that other person rather than react to that other person. And then once I recognize that there may be something else going on other than what I think I know, then I can actually talk to that person and try to figure out, okay, what is it they really need? What is they really trying to communicate here? What are their concerns? What are they not feeling comfortable about? And fully understand where they're coming from. Once I have a better idea where they're coming from, then I can have a better idea of what my choices are, what the different options are. So we have to stop thinking about the task at hand. We have to stop thinking about problem solving and begin with trying to understand each other, trying to share what each other's perspectives are, and not from a place of being right or wrong, but simply to understand. We're emotional beings. Even the most rational, logical one of us has an emotional center in the brain that's always connected. It's always on. So we're always dealing with emotions in ourselves, and we're always dealing with emotions in others. So sometimes we might have to take a deep breath just to recognize what we're feeling, not so much what we're thinking or what our intentions are. And once we acknowledge what we're feeling, we might then become curious, if I'm feeling this, what could they be feeling? What's possibly going on there in that moment?